Alright, what's up Dominators? Welcome back to the ShiHai's channel, and today I present to you my personalized Highlander deck recipe. So yes, this is post V-EB15. I'm pretty sure the English set was just released like about a week ago. So yes, this is my deck list. I'm going to show you what I run inside. And as you can see, the new layout is not being followed in this video because as a Highlander player, you're only allowed to, not allowed, but you're only recommended to run one of each card in the deck, except for a few exceptions which we'll get to later. So there's a lot of cards, in this deck, so I'm just not gonna lay that out in the format where you can see. I'm just gonna get it down and explain to you which cards I run. So hopefully you guys can tolerate me with the video, and let's just jump right into it. So first we have a Great Force. So we have a starter here, of course. We're just going to go down by grades. We have the Great Force. I play only 3 Great Force, so technically there are a few more Great Force in the Bermuda Triangle Highlander that you can run, but I don't run it. That includes Eve and Aneska, if I'm not wrong. So first we have the new Great 4 Olivia. I have the swimsuit SP version, looks really nice. So the good thing about her skill, it withstands your whole field. And then if you withstand 3 or more, this unit gets 1 crit. But take note, the withstanding skill only targets units that have different card names. So when it attacks the official skill, if you want to look down at the video, I put it down there. When it attacks, you withstand all of your units with different card names. Rear guards, sorry, only rear guards with different card names. And if you withstand 3 or more, this unit gets crit +1. So it's a really good multi-attacker, especially into your new grade 3 reindeer. And with Pallay systems on board, it's probably like unguardable because your opponent is gonna have a very hard time guarding it. So yeah, it's a force marker as well. So reasons why actually this deck is a tier, I would say tier 1 to tier 1.5. It's because of the constant rewriting you can get off Reindeer, which is your new boss card, the Reindeer grade 3. We'll get to the skill later. So moving on, after Olivia, we have Aneska. So Aneska is still being ran because you can get 6 gifts in 1 turn, so why the hell not? Especially if your deck is like 1 copy of everything, so you don't run any duplicates other than Reindeer, of course. So yes, it checks for top 10, on place top 10. If it's all different, you gain an imaginary gift, Force, Excel, and Protect. So yes, you are able to choose the Excel and Protect, but for the Force, you have to go with the original Force that you've chosen. So example, if you wrote Reindeer and you Force 1, Aneska's skill states that when you gain a Force, you have to gain Force 1. You can't gain Force 2 all of a sudden. So yes, you have to follow your base Force gift. Moving on to the last grade 4 we run is of course Laura. I think this card is pretty much broken. If you get it down when your opponent's grade 2, it's pretty devastating for them because on base top 10 with all different names, normal units, sorry. Take note that all Aneska and Laura are checking for different normal units, not triggers. If it's all different normal units, you're able to call any amount of them to rear guard circle, and they all gain plus 10k at the end of turn. So it's really strong. I recommend you run this 3 grade 4s. Reasons why we don't run Aneska anymore is because it's only the first battle, so it sucks. Unless it's not first battle, then it's really actually fucking strong. And then of course we don't run Eve as well, which is the other grade 4, because there's really no point in running Eve, in my opinion, because Eve is the X skill, and the only good skill about her is when she checks the trigger, you double the power and the crit of that trigger. So it's too RNG for you to, you know, use. I'd rather fill the deck up with more useful cards and more important cards. Right, so that's all for the grade 4s. I think I only run 3. Moving on to grade 3 is run a healthy amount. So first of all, we have the new boss card, of course, is Reindeer. I think Reindeer is a really strong card. It's the best that the Highlander support will ever get. So skill continuous. This unit is regarded as a trigger unit in the deck. So yes, whenever you check for top 10 normal units, example for Laura and Aneska, when you check into 2 Reindeers, it doesn't really check their name. It's considered a trigger unit, so it's not considered a normal unit. So that's the really good part. That's one of the reasons why you can run 4 off. Second skill is the most broken one. End of battle, they attack. You discard 2 cards. You check top 10. If they are all different normal units, you choose 1 card from that and superior right onto your Vanguard circle. At the end of the turn, you put that card to the bottom of the deck and write a grade 3 from your soul. So what does this mean? At the end of battle, they attacks. You discard 2 cards. You top 10. You can write any card grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. If you roll a grade 3 or grade 4, it's even better because you gain the force and the abilities. And end of turn, you bought that the card that you wrote, and then you write a grade 3 from your soul. So it's like insane. It's almost the same as blow up, where you gain like 3 gifts in one turn if you actually ride up into a grade 3 or higher. And every time you do this, it's a different card most of the time, and if you get into the specific grade 4s or grade 3s that I run, or do you run, depending on deck list, it's really cool to see the on-place abilities activate, and you're able to, you know, use the on-place abilities to either spawn more units, get more power, or get more crit to pressure your opponent even more into ending the game. So this is the boss card. 4 off is a necessary. You can run 1 off, but I don't see why the hell you are running 1 off when it checks it for different names. Different normal units, sorry, not different names, different normal units. So yes, 4 off is a necessary must in this deck. Moving on to the grade 3 slot. So this is the grade 3 slot where grade 3 and below, like grade 3, grade 2, grade 1, where it gets a little bit messy, so I'm just going to briefly run through them. We have this grade 3, a lot of people don't recommend me run. I don't think, a lot of people don't think it's good, but I think it's fine. On place Vanguard Circle, you check top 7, you have all different names, super call up to 2 units from the top 7. I think it's fine. You can combo this with Reindeer if you really don't have any other units to run into. Turia, because I run freaking Anj, but Turia is a very good card as a form of restander and allows your units to bounce back as well. On place, you bounce back, you choose any amount of rear guards, including your opponent's few. To bounce back, you bounce back 3 more against plus 15k. Vanguard rear guard skill, it's I am better than attack. If you bounce at least 3 or more units this turn, you can't pass 1 stand. This unit gets minus drive. This unit gains drive -1. So yes, in conjunction with Reindeer, of course, your drive plus drive 1, and then if you want to restand it on the Vanguard Circle, it's drive 0 because it -1 drives already from Reindeer skill, and then her skill minus another drive, so it's 0 drive. But it gains that additional attack if you really want. So yeah, sorry, it's count on discard 1. I forgot to include the cost as well, the discard 1 cost. Of course, Lupina, I think this is a really strong card. It's insane. On attack skill, you are able to stand 2 units with force markers. That's the second skill. So yeah, combat 1, stand 2 units. Stand all your units with a force marker on them. Sorry, not only stand 2 units, stand all your units with a force marker on them. The first skill, X skill, it's a Soul Blast skill once per turn. You check top 7, if I'm not wrong. Yes, check top 7. And then superior call 1 unit from the top 7 onto the rearguard circle, and then you put a force onto wherever you called it. So yes, whichever rearguard circle you called the unit to, you put a force on it. So yeah, it's really strong. Combine it with Pala Pele, it's instant death for your opponent if they're on grade 2 most of the time, unless they check a heal or something. So yeah, it's really strong. Anj, I think this is self-explanatory. I don't really need to explain why. On attack, count +1, bounce, choose any amount of rear guards, including your opponent's field, to bounce back to hand. You bounce 2 or more, you gain 1 force. You bounce 2 or more, you gain 10k. You bounce 3, you gain 1 force. You bounce 4, you superior call a unit from your deck to rear guard circles. Yeah, it's really good. Ride from Reindeer into Anj, so that you can, turbo up the force markers, and at the same time return back a lot of cards, important cards on your field back to your hand, so they can use it from next turn. This one is a flex spot as well. I think it's not really necessary. So I do play a little bit of the Melody engine. That's one of the reasons why I run Caro. Free 18k booster. I'm not going to get into skill because I never ever write this. If you write this card, you just instant lose. So yeah, it's just gives all your Melody boost and plus 5k when boosting. So that's the more important skill. This one, confirm must run. If you're not on QTA, on place Vanguard Rearguard, you declare a card name from the deck. You search your top card of the deck for that card, for that specific card. But if you hit a duplicate, of course you stop there. But in the case where you don't write any duplicates in this deck, other than Reindeer, but Reindeer is considered a trigger unit, this searches for a normal unit only. You can just pick up a holder and search. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But make sure that your opponent knows that you don't have any duplicates, right? But if you're in an official tournament, of course you need to slowly flip until you find that specific card that you want. So yes, moving on to the grade 2s. So that's all for the grade 3s. Grade 3s we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We run 10 grade 3s, 3 grade 4s. Moving on to the grade 2s. I'm just going to spread out the grade 3s here, so easier for y'all to see, I guess. We have Aqua. So Aqua is a very good card. I don't see why you should not be running Aqua. First skill, I think I explained it in my mail deck list as well. Vanguard, this unit gains plus 5k if there's another unit in the same column. So it's like, you know, what's the old phrase called? I don't remember. Harmony? Yes, the old harmony keyword. So yeah, sorry. Back to the topic. On place, we have bounce 1, drop 1, draw 1. Yes. So in conjunction with Q2A, it's really strong because you are able to pop Q2A skill twice to search for any 2 cards in deck. And take note that it's hard once per turn only, but you're only running 1 copy, so it doesn't really matter. But I like to use it in conjunction with Q2A a lot because you're able to search 2 cards, and most of the time the 2 cards that are searched, if they are not out of the deck yet, like in the drop zone or in the damage zone, is Perla. It's really strong. Yes, so we're gonna get into that 2 cards later. Moving on, we have Lysiloid. Of course, Lysiloid can be used in conjunction with Aqua as well. Really strong, considered grade 1, and you can call it during your grade 1 turn. And then if you on place, you check top card, you may either shove it to soul or call it to a red card circle. So yes, it's a free +1 onto your field immediately. Aqua bounces it back on a grade 2 turn, so you can use it again. Hard once per turn, by the way. Remember, these 2 cards are hard once per turn. So another Melody Engine, Sonata, on attack, all your Melody units gains plus 5k, continuous Vanguard red card skill. So yes, it's a 15k attacker. That's it, I guess. There's no other better grade 2s to play, to be honest. So yes, it's a 15k beat stick, so just play it. Reason why I run this card, technically is for Anj. Skill is first continuous red guard. If you bounce a card this turn, use unit gains plus 10k. And then second skill is the reason I run it. On place, you board deck a card from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck. You board deck a Great Shield or greater, choose one opponent's rear guards, and they are unable to stand during the stand phase during the opponent's next turn. So yes, the stand one is there for fun. It's supposed to be a melancholy card, to be honest, but the reason why I run it is for the board decking of a Great Shield or greater card, so you can keep recycling your important grade 3s and grade 4s back from the drop zone into the deck, so that you can, you know, rewrite it from Ranger skill. Perla, is Perla or Perla, either one, the grade 2 and grade 1. Let me show you the grade 1 right here. So in conjunction with this grade 2, you're only running 1 copy of them in the deck. You only can run 1 copy. The con skill states that you only can run 1 copy of each in the deck. And if you're both on field, this unit gains plus 18k 1 crit, and this grade 1 plus 20k 1 crit. So yes, it's both 28k 2 crits. And if you have them on the field, you are going into trying your best to go into either Lupina or you go into Olivia for that multi-attack madness, and you have a massive amount of force to work with. If you're going to Lupina, you already have like 2 force on the field already. You're going into same Olivia, you have 2 force as well, because they all have force markers, and they're withstanding rear guard, so it's 38k 2 crit by 38 2 crit by 38 2 crit by 38 2 crit again. And if your opponent's grade 2, 9 or 10k base, it's a 30k guard by 30k guard by 30k guard by 30k guard, which is impossible for them to guard most of the time unless they check trigger or something. So yes, it's a really strong combo. It's a really cheesy combo. That's one of the reasons why this deck is really good. But in talking about the consistency of how you can search out cards in this deck using, you know, the Aqua Q2A combo is pretty okay, I would say. Yeah. Moving on to the grade 2, other grade 2 we have it's Coral, the grade 2 Coral. On play, Soul Charge 1, if you're Coral Vanguard, you Soul Charge 1 again. Vanguard skill. It's used for Soul Charge most of the time. Second skill, it's X. I rarely or never ever use this skill. X, once per turn, you Soul Blast 2, this unit gains plus 10k, but if you're Coral Vanguard, it gets an additional plus 5k. So you want it for the Soul Charge because of an additional grade 2 that you will see later in this pile, which we'll get to later. This promo, if you don't have it in English, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for you English players, because this promo is one of the best grade 2 rights you can ever have. It's a Vanguard only skill because of it's really strong for its skill. On place, Vanguard, counter Soul Blast, you check top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to hand, 1 to bottom of deck, and 1 to field. So you call 1 to field, 1 to hand, and 1 to bottom deck. So yes, it's a free like +1. It nets itself for the draw 1, and then you call 1 for free, and then you board that 1. So you can call, if you are lucky enough, you can call any of the grade 3s, especially Q2A. You call Q2A, it's instant plus. You can call Coral as well, or any other grade 3, grade 4, grade 2, grade 1. So yes, there are times where I get the Pallay sister of it, so it's pretty strong, yeah. And most optimal right, of course, is going to be this card. Moving on, another optimal right is supposed to be this grade 2 right here. So it's a Vanguard only skill, same as the previous grade 2, these two. It can be used in conjunction together if your opponent like checks crit or gives you 2 damage on your grade 2 turn, right? So skill on place Vanguard only, count +1, draw a card, look at top 7 cards of your deck, and write up to 1 grade 2 from among them other than herself. So doesn't really matter because you're only running 1 copy in this deck. But if you have 2 counterblast or more, your ideal right target is obviously her. So you can plus a lot immediately. Once you write into her and then you top 7, you get her, it's like, oh, the insane plus you're gonna have is like amazing. But rarely that your opponent will give you 2 or more counterblasts on your grade 2 turn. So yes, unless they rush you, then that's a different story. Moving on to this grade 2, yes, I think in conjunction why I run it with why I run Coral, because of the surcharge. Skill Vanguard only, once per turn. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is placed, you may give this unit plus 5k, but that's the side note. The main note is after that you can pay the cost of additional Soul Blast 3, draw 2 cards. So yeah, it's a grade 2 8k base. It sucks if you ride it, of course, but main reason why it's here is because of the Soul Blast 3, draw 2. So take note that you need some sort of soul charging engine. That's one reason why you run Coral, for the soul charge. Last but not least, we have the Melody grade 2 that says the skill is legit Melody, that's all. Yeah, it's used in conjunction with grade 2 Sonata and grade 3 Caro for the boosting power. That's mostly it, but you can switch it out for any other grade 2s that you deem fit to run. Some people run the Count +1, draw 2, return 3 back to deck. What's the name? I don't remember the name, but I'll probably put it up somewhere in this part of the video. You can take a look at it. Because they can return Great Force back to deck. That's the main reason why they want to play that card, because you can return Great Force or any card that you want back to the deck and shuffle. So yes, that's all for the grade 2. Moving on to the grade 1s, we have the Pallay sister. I think I explained this before, so I'm not going to explain it again. This grade 1 is really strong. It works as like a backup QTW. So on play top 7, it's all different normal units. You must review to your opponent. You add 1 card from among them to your hand, and then you put 1 card from your hand back to the bot deck. So when you review what you take from the top 7, you have to review it to your opponent. But the process of putting 1 card from hand back to deck and shuffle, you don't have to review it to your opponent. It's really good. Can be used in conjunction with Aqua as well to filter the cards that you want. It's a hand fix, I would say. So yes, 1 off is a must. This promo right here is another form of soul charging engine, so it's really strong. On place Vanguard, you soul charge 1, and when ridden over, you may call it from a soul onto Vanguard circle. So yes, it refunds its cost and gives you a free unit as well, because it's on place soul charge 1. Yes, it's a promo. I'm not sure if in this chef, if you have, you might consider running 1 copy. Which is such a generic, I think. Yes, you don't really have any other better grade 1s to run, and it's a 13k booster as long as you have a unit in the same column. And generic on place top 5 or grade 3 with added discard card. This card is a really good if you're going second, and it has the on hit skill of first skill on hit draw 1. So it's a Vanguard only skill on hit draw 1. So you're going second, you can call hopefully a booster and write this as a Vanguard in order to pressure the on hit. Second skill is really good as well. On the Vanguard circle, you retire itself, you check the top 2 cards from the top of the deck, add 1 to hand and the rest to drop zone. So in next back is cost, I would say, but it helps you filter the, if you're really looking for like a really specific card and you are quite desperate. So it helps you filter the card that you really want. This card is a promo as well. There's quite a lot of promos. There's like at least 3 or 4 promos in this deck that I run. I'm not too sure in English translate, but yeah. End of battle that attack or boosted. I think you must attack a Vanguard if I'm not wrong. You put this unit into your soul. You put a grade 3 or greater card from your drop zone back to the bottom of the deck. You will put a grade 3 or greater. You put any card, sorry. If I'm not wrong, you put any card. Yeah. No, you must put a grade 3 or greater, sorry. Yes, the cost is to put a grade 3 or greater card from the drop zone to the bottom of the deck. If you put the card, you may draw 1. So yes. Sorry, it started a little bit there. So yeah, that's the part of the skill. It's really good, gives you the soul and at the same time nets its own cost and helps you recycle your grade 3s and 4s back into the deck, which is what you want. Another promo which I run, interestingly, It's a 7k base grade 1 with a rearguard skill. So on place rearguard, you choose a unit and it gains boost. So yes, it's interesting enough where you can, you know, choose a grade 3. If you already got your hands full grade 3, you can choose call a grade 3 down, call this unit and gives you a grade 3 boost until end of turn. The second skill, it's at end of your turn, you may counter +1, you retire this unit, choose one of your rearguards on the field, bounce it back to your hand. So yeah, it's not as strong as Aqua because Aqua's are on place, while this one is end of turn, but it still serves its purpose where, you know, you get back the rearguard back onto the field because you can use its on place skill again, and it gives a unit boost, so why the hell not. This grade 1 I run, if you are not running the Melody engine, you are not supposed to run this grade 1. So on place, you may pay the cost with a soul +1 or count +1 if you are the same grade as your opponent rearguard. So if you are not on the same grade, you have to pay the cost of the count +1, but if you are the same grade, you pay the cost of the soul +1 instead. You search for top 7 for 2 Melody units, you add 1 to your soul and 1 to your hand, up to 1 to soul and up to 1 to hand. So if you search 2, then yes, you are lucky enough, but if you search 1, just add it to hand. So it's a Melody searcher. I play 3 Melodies in this deck only, but yeah, I can't really find the last grade 1 slot, so I opted to run this instead. Aura, Quora, either one, generic on play, draw 1, drop 1, hard 1 button. It's good grade 1 right as well if you're going second, because you can just drop quick shield, so it's a +1. And then of course this grade 1 right here, I'm not too sure of its name, but it helps you draw +1 because of the skill. When end of battle that it boosts Vanguard only, you put a grade 3, you put a card from your drop zone back to the bottom of the deck, draw 1, and you play the cost of additional 1 counter blast to draw an additional 1. Wait, sorry, I'm getting it wrong, right? Sorry. Okay, so yes, the first part is correct, where you put a card from the bottom of the deck, from the drop zone to the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. You pay the cost of additional counter +1. If you put a grade 3 or greater, you may draw an additional 1. So yes, grade 3, not greater. Sorry. There's a skill right there at the bottom part of the video. So sorry if I'm stuttering that out. I haven't been doing that list a lot recently, so I kind of my brain's still a bit stuttering. I mean, yeah, I'm not used to it. But yeah, that's all for the normal units. Going into the trigger units, I run 12 crits, 4 heals, because this deck, as explosive as it is, it doesn't really have the power to survive really good meta decks such as Luat. So you want to end your opponent as quickly as possible. So one of your win cons is of course through Reindeer into Anaska or Nalora. Another win con is into Perla Sisters, into Olivia or Lupina, and then you can just technically end your opponent off because every turn you are building so much force. So the longer the game goes for you, is better. But of course that takes into account whether you can survive your opponent's turn. So yes, that's basically about it for the deck. I hope you guys liked it. I think it's a really strong deck if you luck suck a lot. But why is luck sucking in Vanguard? Because Vanguard's a very skilled game. Yes, thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys liked it. I will be posting more deck fights or deck recipes really soon. But for now, thank you very much. This is V-Shai. I'm out. Peace.